All right. Happy Thursday, everyone. Here to give you an update on what's going on in the weather community out there. We have post tropical storm Arthur, and right now we have all of this rain. As you can see right there, severe thunderstorm warnings that are blanketing North Georgia at this point. As you can see, I believe it's a new severe thunderstorm warning that just popped up there in the eastern areas of Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. Those severe thunderstorm warnings, they're going to keep coming as we continue to get into this. We're probably going to have a tornado watch that's going to extend out. I would assume that's going to extend out to the Augusta area and eventually into the Columbia, South Carolina area. Because I think right now, if I'm not mistaken, this is not the bulk of the storm system that's bringing all of this right now. Like the bulk that's been in Alabama and Atlanta is not the bulk of the system yet, and will probably get stronger as we get to the Carolinas if this goes out the correct way. So here to give you a guideline and show you what's going on right now. As you can see, this is the National Weather Service radar in Atlanta, Peachtree City, and as you can see there, severe thunderstorm warnings are all in this area right now. I'll show you what's going on in the Columbia area at this time, but I'll show you in a second. But really what's happening right here, I think we have that area of rotation that, I mean, it's really rotating, but I mean, is that, not exactly sure, but I think that it's not necessarily even in Alabama. It probably is in Mississippi right now, but this storm is expected to gradually move across this area like this, as the National Hurricane Center has said. Going to move across, potentially developing I would assume we're going to get a brand new name there for that storm. So it'll still be the things that really fueled Arthur, some of that rain and stuff like that, but we'll probably get a different name. So as you can see there, I'm not sure if that's a new warning or not. Is that a new warning? I think these are sets of new warnings. So right now you have those severe thunderstorm warnings. They're heading into the Augusta area right now. Right now you can see that tornado watch is in effect for Atlanta, Macon, Americus. I believe Albany, Georgia is included in that warning as well. And I'm gonna expect these warnings, to be completely honest with you. I'm gonna not warnings, the tornado watches. Let me explain. The yellow is the tornado watches. I'm gonna expect these tornado watches, the watch area, to extend into the Augusta, Columbia region. Now we have a flash flood warning down there in Troy, Alabama. I'm expecting the tornado watches and it'll probably be a transition. I could be wrong by this. I'm just going to give an estimate of what's happening here. But really, you see how you have that warning is like right there. But I'm thinking possibly when we get that next wave of not warnings. I keep saying warnings. That next wave of tornado watches, it'll probably be in that section, and then it'll move on to maybe Columbia, South Carolina, that Augusta and National Weather Service and Columbia will be keeping eyes on. I'm pretty sure everybody's keeping eyes on these dangerous severe storms. Severe storms capable of producing tornadoes, if I'm not mistaken. Those individual cells, as you can see. Look at those flood watches are in effect. You can't really see them, but really this whole entire area has flood watches as we speak. That whole entire area with flood watches and wind advisories are right there in those areas right there. There's a lot of overlapping advisories, warnings, a lot going on. So you can definitely tell that these are the remnants of a tropical depression. And this is a strengthening system as shown on the European model. Now, the GFS, it takes this system on out, but the European, as we've been talking about for the last few, showing that strengthening of that system, going on out into the Carolinas and potentially forming what could be a brand new area of development. So a new name, it would carry over that next name. So it would probably be a different name from Arthur. Carry it over to the Atlantic Ocean, and then it'll go on out after it moves from the Carolinas. So that's what it looks like. Seems to be the possibility. But multiple hazards are on the line, as you can see, as they have said right there in the section. Multiple hazards tonight. Heavy rain, gusty winds, isolated tornado possible. And as you can see in the Columbia, South Carolina area, and I'm thinking we're going to get isolated tornadoes. I'm saying sort of, so to speak, in the. It's very unpredictable because this section right here, shown on the European model, Augusta, Columbia, shows this storm really as you get closer to Atlanta. So, really, the Augusta region, upstate of South Carolina, you see it like it's going to try to form, and I'm going to show you that in the European model just a second, but you can tell we already have some of the cells happening here. As you can see, severe thunderstorm warning right there near Columbia. Down there by Savannah, and we have the special weather statement on Greenwood. So as you can tell, these storms are not playing around now. They haven't issued any tornado watch, no flood watch in these areas. I mean, not really anything out of the National Weather Service in Columbia. And Greenville, Spartanburg, they've issued a few. I think that special weather statement, if I'm not mistaken, those are fire dangers. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I'm expecting maybe we're gonna get some sort of watch or warning. I'm thinking the tornado watch is probably gonna come. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm not exactly 100%. But the way this storm system is moving, it is moving, and we are not at the necessarily bulk point of this storm system because this is the strong area that the European has been hinting on. Not much of the GFS, but the European, it's been hinting off at this section as a bulk system. And let's move right on to that European model, which in the European model, the 6Z run, it did lower it a little bit. But we're going to see what the European model has shown for us here in the 12Z run. And I mean, there you go. Right there, the European clearly showing it. Now, it has trended up north a little bit. And I know people in the Virginias are saying this. And people in West Virginia, Kentucky, Nashville, Tennessee, it looks like you're getting a little bit of rain, not as much, but the drought is serious in these areas. We got heat advisories for eastern North Carolina. Parts of South Carolina, I think, have heat advisories as well. I mean, this is going to be very hot. Right now, this system is right about what Alabama-ish, I would say, but that X is really all of the ingredients, all of the development and stuff, all of the severe thunderstorms are east of this system. Um, you see it right there over Rome, Georgia. It develops a low pressure right into the upstate of South Carolina. So really, you have impacts anywhere from Charlotte on down to Augusta. And that line right there, that line, these very well could be those tornadoes and severe thunderstorms that could really pack a punch. And I mean, just look at the purple, the millibar low, 1003 millibar, as you can see there. Just look at the purple. But then when you continue to move on, you have that low pressure and it becomes a 999 millibar low out there in the ocean. And this is where it potentially could take the name because then it's going to have those tropical characteristics. Is it going to take the name on land? I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I know out in the water at this point in time, it probably will take out land, take a name on land, as the National Weather Service was showing. National Hurricane Center was showing that X right over Mississippi going to gradually move over that area of development is going to be right there in the Atlantic if that scenario were to happen. And right now, all of the ingredients seem to be set in place. Everything seems to be set in stone in these areas. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure that you check out the Radar Room podcast with Michael. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share with a person you may know. Have a great rest of your Thursday. And I'll see you out there in the weather community.